Jacqueline Nicholson, and I'm here to demonstrate the appendicular portions of the human skeleton. The appendicular skeleton is divided into two portions, which are the axial and the appendicular portions. The axial area has 80 bones. There are three major regions, which is the skull, which is the head, the vertebrae column, which is the neck, the thoracic cage, which is the trunk. This part of the skeleton is the axial. It forms the longitudinal axis of the body. It supports the neck. It supports the head and the trunk. It protects the brain, the spinal cord, and the organs in the thorax. The appendicular portions is the locomotion of it. It helps us to move. It consists of bones of the upper and lower limbs, the girdles, which are the shoulders and the hips, that attach to limbs to axial. The pectoral girdle, which is this bone back here, the shoulder girdle, it has two bones. It has the clavicle, which is this clavicle, is this bone here, the clavicle. And it has the scapula, which is right below the clavicle. This is the scapula under the clavicle. These two bones form the shoulder. Okay, now the clavicle joins the sternum, which is here at the medial end, which is up here. This is the sternum, and this is the medial end here of the clavicle, and this is the scapula here that forms the shoulder. Okay, the clavicle, it meets the scapula laterally and distal at the distal end. Scapula are attached to the thorax and the vertebrae column by muscles. The pectoral girdles attach to the upper limbs to the axial. Over here is the pectoral girdles, and it's attached to the upper limbs of the axial skeletal. This is the axial up here, and it provides attachment. Okay, attachment points for many of the muscles that move the upper limbs. Okay.
Go.
The clavicle are the collarbones, which is here is the clavicle, the collarbones, and each clavicle is cone-shaped at the medial sternal end, which attaches to the sternal manubrium and flattened at its lateral acromial end, which articulates with the scapula. So this is the clavicle, and this is the scapula here, this area here, and the acromial is here at the end of the scapula, where they articulate together. Okay, good. Now,
go.
Okay, the acromial is here. The scapula is here, which is the shoulder blade. The glenoid cavity is here at the border of the armpit. Here is the glenoid cavity at the border of the armpit, which is the axillary, the socket for the head of the bone. The spine is easily felt through the skin, and it ends laterally in an enlarged, roughened, triangular projection called the acromion. This enlarged end of the spine of the scapula connects to the clavicle foramen. Clavicle. And it forms here. It's all forming. Okay? At the acromion clavicle. At the acromioclavicular joint. From the superior scapular border is the coracoid process. The coracoid process helps anchor the bicep muscles of the upper arm and limbs and is bounded by the suprascapular notch, which is the nerve passage that is medially and by the glenoid cavity. Now this is the coracoid process, which is in here. It's in here, and then it's connected here to the suprascapular notch in there. Okay? Okay, we're going to turn him around again, and we're going to do the infraspinous and the supraspinous fossa. This is the infra and the supra. Okay, and these are large fossa that appear on both sides of the scapula and are named according to their location. Okay, so this is the infra and the supra. They're just, above and below each other. Okay, let me turn him around. Okay, and the sternoclavicular articulates with the sternum and the clavicle. So here's the clavicle, and the sternoclavicular is in this area. It articulates with the sternum and the clavicle. And that is the end of the appendicular skeleton. Thank you.